A very big hello to my little champions out there. Good evening. Let's just wait and see if I'm audible and I am visible or not. Yes. Yes, I am audible and I am clearly visible. And we will just wait for some time so that everyone else can also join this particular live session. So my dear children, I hope you joined yesterday's live. I saw that a lot of children came in for the live and all of you were enthusiastic, energetic and totally prepared to rock the board examination out there. So Satyam Yadav is there. Hi Satyam. So Satyam, we will be waiting for some time so that other children can also join. By that time, if at all you have any friends who are in 10th grade, share this video with them also so they can also participate. Okay? And I hope you are doing great. So my dear children, your boards are in in next 3 months, and I'm pretty sure you have got mixed feelings as of now. Okay, because obviously 10th grade is gonna end. That is one part, one big thing. And the second thing is that your classes, everything is going to change from now on. So yes, that's a big change. But let me tell you, everything that comes in front of you is going to be all good. It's going to be nice. So be excited for that. Tech Mozo, where is Sonu sir? So were you expecting Sonu sir? I'm assuming you are calling Murtaza sir. So Murtaza sir had a live at 1 o'clock. Keep missing him. Probably he will come again later on really soon for you guys. Chalo. Then we'll start off the session. I hope all of you are ready to score 20 on 20 in this live. So I brought 20 questions, my dear children, and your aim should be to crack all of these 20 questions and get full on full. Okay, well, this is not a competition. Let's see who can actually give their best. Okay, so starting with the first question that we are having, question number 1, which says, Alia reporting is there. Hello dear. Okay, so that's a student who is very much consistent, and I'm so happy to see you over here. And please share this video with all your friends as well so that everyone can come and participate. Okay, so today's target is also to score 20 on 20, and the first question goes right in front of you. Which of the following groups does not constitute a food chain, or basically which cannot make up a food chain? Over here you have options. Option 1, wolf, rabbit, grass and lion is there. Option 2, plankton, man, grasshopper, fish is there. Option 3, hog, grass, snake, grasshopper, frog is there. And option 4, we have grass, snake, wolf and tiger. Hi, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correct, but Khananaz is there. Hi dear. Hi Reena Sharma. All of you, I'm so happy to see all of you. Chalo bachcha log, try to solve this question and let me know the answer. I'm waiting. Hi Shri Gauri. Ma'am, what is this? So basically over here in this particular session, I am going to make you deal with some previous year questions which I feel is interesting or probably could be repeating again this year. The concepts will repeat, obviously the questions would be changing. So Alia said the answer for this question is A. What is A? A means 1 and 4. A means 1 and 4. Here the question is asked that which of the following groups does not constitute a food chain. That means which of them cannot make a food chain. So 1 and 4, wolf, rabbit, grass and lion. So over here grass is what? The producer. The grass can be eaten up by a rabbit. The rabbit can be eaten up by wolf. The wolf can be eaten up by lion. So it makes a food chain. So this obviously is not the correct answer because it actually makes a food chain. So you have to tell which one does not make a food chain. Plankton, man and grasshopper and fish. So lots of you guys might not know where do you find plankton. Plankton is found in water, my dear children, inside the water body. Okay, there are two types of plankton. Always remember phytoplankton and zooplankton. So phytoplankton, which is there, basically they act like plants and they are the producers in pond ecosystem inside the ponds. Now this phytoplanktons are eaten up by zooplanktons, and the zooplanktons are eaten up by small fishes, and the small fishes are eaten up by bigger fishes. But do you see anything of that over here? After plankton there is grasshopper, there is fish, there is man, but no zooplankton is given or not small fish is given. So this would be a wrong option. Sri Gauri, okay ma'am, thank you so much for telling. Oh, I hope it helps us. It will definitely help you guys. So my dear children, this is the odd one out. Now, since I have given you a clue, ki second is not the option. Second would be a wrong option. That means it is the one that does not constitute a food chain. Can you give me one more answer? With second, what is the thing? What is the next thing? Hawk, grass, snake, grasshopper and frog. Over here, my dear children, grass again is a producer. On the grass, grasshopper can eat the grass, right? And my dear children, grasshopper can be eaten up by a frog. Now frog can be eaten up by a snake. Snake can be eaten up by hawk also. Hawk is a bird. So this is also constituting a food chain. So this one is also odd one out. Now come over here. Grass is there, snake is there, wolf is there, tiger is there. Arey, who is there to eat the grass? No one is there to eat the grass. So basically this is also not going to constitute, which is why your answer for this question would be what? Your answer for this question would be this and this, second and fourth. The option is D. The option is D. Did you get it? So Alia, my dear child, I saw that you tried. I'm super happy for you. But the answer for this question is D. I hope all the other children also got the same answer, or basically at least understood the concept. So over here, first thing that I want to tell you is don't shy away from answering. Try to answer. If at all you get things wrong, you will remember it better. Okay, we all learn from mistakes only. So the only rule that I follow is you and me are friends, and in friends you should not have that shyness. Cool? Now give me a thumbs up if at all I can go with the next question. Can I go with the next question? Is it all clear to you? It's okay Alia. Chodo. Sab acha hai, mast hai. ठीक है? Can we go ahead with the next question? Give me a thumbs up if we can. 10 people watching this video and no one talking to me except Alia and Sri Gauri and Satyam and Tekumozo. Children, you have to talk to me, otherwise it is going to be super boring. And do I look scary? Well, I am not at all scary. You can easily talk to me, okay? So, question number 2. Let me see who all give me answer for this question. Yes, Sri Gauri, Khanas. Yes, Khananas is there. Yes, kudos. Thank you, dear. The percentage of solar energy which is not converted into food energy by the leaves of green plants in a terrestrial ecosystem is about. You are asked, what is the percentage of solar energy, sun's energy, which is not converted into food energy by the leaves of the green plants? You have to tell that. Can you guess what is the answer for this question? D. D is 99%. Is the answer D? What about others? Others also have the same answer, or do you have difference in opinion? Is there anyone to challenge Ali and say no, the answer is not D? 99%. So 99%. So my dear children, over here, anyone to tell that it's not true, there is some other answer for this question? Come on. I'm waiting for you guys also to answer. D, 99% is the answer. Shall I go ahead? Chalo, I think with flow you will all try to answer. But as of now, let me answer. The answer is 99%. Why is it 99%? That is the next question. So here it is said the percentage of solar energy which is not converted into food energy. So suppose there is sun. Okay, there is sun. And now over here you have plant. You know what? Sun has too much amount of energy, but only 1% of the energy goes to the plant. Only 1% is taken up by the plant. Now the plant takes it. Now the plant utilizes it and passes only 10% to the next organism. But from the sun to the plant, it's only 1%. So here it is asked, what is not converted into food energy? So 99%, whatever is left is 99%. So 99% would be the thing that is not converted, which is why your answer for this question is D. So in your NCERT, there is a line like this. Yes, Khananas, 99%, kudos. You are also absolutely correct. Chalo. So the green plants in a terrestrial ecosystem capture about 1% of energy of sunlight that falls on their leaves and convert into food energy. Rest is not converted, and rest is what? 99%. Okay? Chalo. Going ahead with the next question, question number 3. This is from the chapter, How Do Organisms Reproduce? Jaivan is here. Hello, dear Jaivan. Agamjeet Singh is also there telling me the answer is 99. Kudos to both of you guys and all of you who gave me the answer. Super happy. Try this question. Question number 3. Assertion says a human child bears all the basic features of human beings. A human child which is going to be born, does it contain all the basic features of human beings, or are we born like monkeys? Okay, are we born like monkeys, my dear children? Suppose the puppy, the dog which is there, it will give rise to a puppy which will be similar to it, right? We all definitely do like that only. So over here, what is your answer? A human child bears all the basic features of human beings. Yes, this is correct. The reason which is said is that it looks exactly like parents, showing very little variation. Do we look exactly like our parents? No. No, my dear children, we have variations. It is sexual reproduction, so obviously variations will be there. So this is wrong. So assertion is true, reason is false. So your answer for this question would be C. Alia said the answer is C. Khananas also said the answer is C. I think Javin also was answering for the same question. If at all yes, then all of you are getting it correct. Agamjeet also said it is C. Kudos. Agamji said, ma'am, you are very beautiful. Thank you so much. You guys are also very, very beautiful children. Okay? Okay, chalo. So the answer for this question is C. And how much is our score? Everyone, out of 20, how much is the score? We have to calculate, okay? And my dear children, don't be busy taking notes, because over here, this should be interactive class and you will learn even more better while you concentrate on this. Okay, done. Later on, we can take notes. After the video has been done, probably we can just move the slider and see what all questions are there. Or you can write down the question number that you were not able to do in the first go. That is also possible. Okay? So the next question, question number 4, this is from the chapter Our Environment. Let's go ahead. Assertion says, the amount of ozone in the atmosphere began to drop sharply in 1980s. It's okay, Alia. Well, let's report from now onwards, okay? So assertion says the amount of ozone which was there in the atmosphere, it began to drop sharply in 1980s. Is it correct or is it false? Alia says the answer for this question is C. Anyone else? Anyone else? Wait me. Kananas is there, Sri Gauri is there, and Jaivan is there, Agamjit is there. My dear children, try this answer. What is the answer for this question? Is it C, B, A, B, C, D? What is it? So assertion, the amount of ozone in the atmosphere began to drop sharply in 1980s. It is correct. It actually started dropping in 1980s. Now reason is that oxygen atom combines with molecular oxygen to form ozone. What? So oxygen atoms means O, molecular oxygen means O2. Both of them combine to form O3. This is correct. Oxygen atom combines with molecular oxygen to give ozone. But does it explain this assertion? No. So assertion and reason, both of them are correct, but the reason is not the correct explanation of assertion. So your answer would be B for this question. Yes, Alia, it is B. It is B. Agamjeet, tell me what you are not understanding. I'll explain you once more. Is this the question that you are not able to understand? So my dear children, ma'am, not understanding properly. Okay, I'll make you understand. Listen to me carefully, okay? So here is the question. The amount of ozone in the atmosphere. So there is a layer in our atmosphere. Our atmosphere is made up of multiple layers. One layer is known as stratosphere. And you know what? This layer is basically having too much amount of O3 molecule, or you call this as ozone. And they basically come together to form a shield. Why do you think we need a shield? Because just above our earth you have the sun, and sun basically have some radiations which you call as UV radiations. Now this UV radiation, suppose it comes through and it falls on us, my dear children, there are chances that we will get skin cancer and things like that. So to prevent that, to stop that, basically we have an ozone layer who says that, hey UV, you cannot go inside. But it was found that in the year 1980s or towards 1980s, the amount of ozone molecule, my dear children, was getting reduced. Which is why we actually found a hole, ozone hole in the Antarctic region, and the UV rays were sharply falling on that. So the amount of ozone in the atmosphere began to drop sharply in 1980s. This is correct. Now the reason should be what? Reason should be that why is ozone getting depleted? That should be explained. So ozone usually was getting depleted because people started using refrigerators, AC. But what is the problem with ACs and refrigerator? In ACs and refrigerator, there was a chemical compound which was being released. It is known as chlorofluorocarbons. Now the chlorofluorocarbons, when they are released, they go to the atmosphere. They basically does not allow the formation of ozone, or whatever ozone molecules are there, they try to break it down, which is why we got a ozone hole. That is the reason. But over here the reason is said the oxygen atoms combined with molecular oxygen to form ozone. So yes, how is ozone being made? When O combines with O2, it forms O3. So this is correct, but it is not explaining the assertion. I hope now it's clear. Is it clear now? Shri Gauri and Agamjeet, done? Clear? If it is clear, give me a thumbs up and tell just like how you told that you didn't understand. Now tell me, are you able to understand or not? Okay, so over here your answer would be B. Children, batao. Okay, let's go ahead with the next question then. Okay, Alia said, okay, thank you so much Alia for giving me the thumbs up. Fine then, we'll move ahead with the next question. The opening and closing of stomata is regulated by, the opening and the closing of the stomata is regulated by what? CO2 concentration in the stomata, temperature in the guard cells, O2 concentration in the stomata, or amount of water in the guard cells. What is the reason? Yes, Shubham, please ask the doubt. Alia says the answer for this question is D. The answer for this question is D. The opening and the closing of stomata is regulated by the amount of water in the guard cells. It is actually true. Yes, Shubham, please ask me the doubt. Don't spam. So over here, if at all you see, my dear children, this is a pore. This pore is known as stomatal pore. Just around it, you have two guard cells. And these guard cells usually, when they have water, they become like this. And when they become like this, what will happen? They both move away and you have a space. So at that particular point of time, we say stomata is open. Now suppose the guard cells have lost the water. When the water is lost, what will happen? They will come back to the position again. And in this case, the stomata is going to be closed. So it all depends upon the amount of water in the guard cells. Okay, it depends upon the amount of water in the guard cells. So Samad Raza is here. Hi dear. And you are saying the answer is D. Yes. So Alia and Samad are absolutely correct because the answer is D. Superb guys. Superb. Awesome. Awesome. Now try to do this question. This question is interesting and only few of you would be able to do this. I am pretty sure about that. So let's see who are the few of them who are able to do it, okay? So observe the given figures A and B. When the chui mui plant is touched, it leaves fold. This is due to what? Hormonal effect, thermal effect, change in the amount of water in the cells, or electromagnetic effect. Ma'am, tomorrow is the exam. Please ask me the doubt, Shubham dear. Agamjeet, it will be really good if at all you can type it in English. Okay, Arindam is also there. Hi Arindam. So Arindam says, what's your name? My name is Jasmine. And Shubham says the answer for this question is C. Okay. And Ali also says C. And Samad Raza has a different answer. Okay. So my dear children, what do you think is the answer for this question? I told you only few of you would be able to solve this question. It will be change in the amount of water in the cells. So basically what happens is that touch me not plant or chui mui plant, no? Suppose this is the leaf of this particular plant. Now below this you have a region which you call as pulvinous. You call this as pulvinous. So pulvinous, when the cells of the pulvinous has the water, basically, not like this, just a second. So over here, each leaf, okay, each leaf, even though you cannot see, they have something which is known as pulvinous, and pulvinous usually has a lot of water in it, which is why the leaves stay like this. When the moment comes when the water is lost, all of them, they are going to droop down, and which is why basically the leaves will be going like down. So your answer for this question is going to be C. It is going to be C. So all of you who gave me the correct answer, I think Shubham and Shubham gave me the correct answer, and Alia gave me the correct answer, and Arindam also gave me the correct answer. Okay? My dear children, please don't spam. When you spam, no, you know what happens? We won't be able to see the answers of others. Anuj, aapko explain. Arey, you tell me, no Baba, what you are not able to understand. I'll help you. Arindam, how can I score 90 number? if at all you are consistently making sure that you solve this number of PYQs every single day, if you understand it properly, you will definitely score 90%. So for that, you have to be consistent every single day. Okay? Chalo. Guys, over here I have one more question which is related to the Touch Me Not plant, and I want you guys to solve it. Anuj Kumar Shot. Yes, lam le liya, batao aap. The plants have neither a nervous system nor muscles. Even then, they respond to stimuli. That means any external thing which comes in. For example, the leaves of Chui Mui plant, when touched, begin to fold up and droop. Right? This is what we exactly studied now. Now, there is a theoretical question, a long question dependent on that. Now, how is information communicated in Touch Me Not plant? That is the first question. How do you think information is communicated? It does not have a nervous system, nothing is there, no? So, we have to do something. So, over here, listen to me carefully. The plants have some receptors. Okay, they have some receptors. When we touch those receptors, they get active. So there are some receptors which are known as mechanoreceptors in the case of plants also. And when the mechanoreceptors are active, you know what happens? Suppose this is a cell and there was a receptor which got active. Now what will happen? The ion channels which are there on the cell, they will open up. And when these ion channels open up, my dear children, ions get in. The ions would be getting in. The same thing would be happening with the next cell also. It will keep on happening, and this is how signals are going to get transported. This is how signals are going to get transported. Okay, so over here is the answer. On touching the plant, a stimulus is produced. The stimulus creates an electrical impulse. How do you think? Because the electrical impulse is nothing but the flow of ions. Now the impulse is generated to movement of ions across the cell membrane. The electrical signals travels from cell to cell, thus information is communicated by electrical signals in this particular case. And what enables the plant cells to bring out the observable response? That is a very big question. How do you think plants is able to give a response over here? So the electrical signal which has just come, my dear children, because of the movement of ions, due to this, water moves out of the cell by osmosis. So over here, what is going to happen? The water molecules which are there, it is going to move out of the cell. Why? Because in another cell over here, you have too much amount of ions. This is hypertonic medium. So water which is there in the other cell, it will move out. It will move out and get into this particular cell, which is why the other cells are going to be flattened up. This leads to decrease in turgor pressure. So the water, the amount of pressure it exerts on the wall of a cell is known as turgor pressure. Now if water molecules are not there, do you think turgor pressure will be there? No. Which is why, my dear children, the cells which are there, it is going to lose its water content and the cells will be drooping down. Cells become flaccid. Because of this, the leaves fold and droop down. Okay. Now, Agamjeet, my dear child, I was explaining something over here. So, Alia, the information is communicated actually with the help of, what do you say? Over here, you say, do not say electromagnetic. You have said electrochemical, then you are correct. Yes, electrochemical. Now, one thing is also given. Differentiate between the movements mentioned above from the movement of tendrils in a pea plant. So, my dear children, when you touch a touch me not plant, does it come to you? Does it come to you? No, right? It just droops down. Now, what about tendril? Tendril always moves in the direction of a support. It moves in the direction of a support. So, over here, something is there about the direction. There is something about the direction. So, Chui Mui movement which is there, it is a nastic movement. What do you mean by nastic movement? Nastic movement is basically a movement that has nothing to do with the direction of the stimulus. My touch is the stimulus, but the Chui Mui plant just closes off. It does not come to me. It is not dependent on the direction. Whereas, if at all you talk about a tendril which is just moving around a support, my dear children, once the tendrils touches the stimulus over here, which is this, basically it moves around it, which is why I'll call it as a tropic movement. And here, why is this happening? Because of decrease or change in the turgor pressure of the cells. There, why is it happening? Because you want to induce growth. You want the plants to grow. That is why. Okay, Agamjeet, I'm so sorry, I do not know Punjabi. And over here, Chui Mui's response, if at all you touch, it just closes off, right? It is fast and also it is temporary. Over here, in the case of tropic movements, it is going to be slow and it is going to be permanent. The roots grow, right? The roots, they grow. They grow slowly, but they grow. So that is an example of tropic movement. So this is not direction dependent and this is what? Direction dependent. Cool? Now, I hope that's done. Now solve this MCQ question, question number 8. Hello ma'am, please speak in Punjabi. Dear, you are able to write it in English, so why not just put the doubt in English and I could try to solve it? Okay? I'm so sorry I do not know Punjabi. Chalo. What is xylem? Anuj Kumar was asking what is xylem. So while you solve this question, I'll try to answer that. Xylem is a vascular tissue which is responsible for transport of water in the case of plants. So they have a pipe-like structure within their body with the help of which the water is going to get transported. That is what you mean by xylem. Okay? Alia said the answer for this question is B. Is it B? One cell thick blood vessels are known as. Hi Kratika. One cell thick blood vessels are known as alveoli, capillaries, arteries, veins. Arteries are the thickest one. Always remember. Arteries have the thickest walls. Why? Because A for away. They take the blood away from the heart, and heart is going to pump the blood in high pressure. To withstand that pressure, you need thick walls. So arteries have thick walls. Veins have thicker walls. Okay, in comparison to arteries, they have thinner walls. But if at all you talk about capillaries, as you can see over here, it is basically made just of one cells. It is just made up of one cells. Why? Because you need diffusion to happen. The capillaries are the one which goes into the organs. So whatever blood is coming, suppose it is carrying oxygen, this oxygen has to move out. And if you make a big barrier, can it move out? No, it won't be able to move out. Which is why your answer for this question is capillaries, and I clearly saw Alia was able to answer it. Okay? And Kratika, so my dear children, B is the answer for this question. Let's go ahead with the next question, that is question number 9. Children, one very important thing that I want to tell you over here. So we just have few days left for our board examination and very few days left for our pre-board examination. So why to basically waste your time into commenting some random things rather than make use of it, study from us and make the best use of the time and get the best score as well. I am here to solve all your doubts, but for that you have to be patient, you have to try your best as well, right? So Alia says the answer for this question is B. Let's see if it is B or not. So bryophyllum produces new plant through. What is bryophyllum? You might have seen bryophyllum. It looks like this. I'll show you a picture of it. It has been asked, how does it produce new plants? Basically, it produces new plants with the help of vegetative propagation. What do you mean by that? So plants, when they are not doing the sexual mode of reproduction, they can rely on vegetative methods where their stem, their leaf and everything can be helping them produce things. So over here in this particular case, as Alia is saying, vegetative buds produced in the notches of the leaf are the ones. So here small buds will be produced in the notches. This is the notch. Over here small buds will be produced, and when these buds are going to fall on the ground, they can give rise to a whole new plant. A whole new plant. So your answer for this question is B, and I have a picture of that as well. So see, this is the notch. On the notch you have small buds. So usually buds does not come on the leaf. Have you seen that buds comes on the leaf? It usually comes on the stem, but here it's on the leaf. As you can clearly see, it looks so mesmerizing, so pretty, right? On all the sides you have the buds, and when the buds fall off, it can lead to formation of a new plant. Okay? Leonardo da Vinci, yes. Okay, chalo. Next question, question number 10. Try to solve this question. Come on. The number of chromosomes in cell division is halved. The kind of cell division is, this kind of cell division is observed in. Hi Zoya Khan. So Zoya Khan is also there, who says the answer for, I think the previous question was B. Yes, if at all it was like that, then you guys are absolutely correct. Let's go ahead with the next set of questions right over here. Try to solve this. Okay. The number of chromosomes in cell division is halved. This kind of cell division is observed in. So my dear children, always remember, usually we have 46 number of chromosomes, but whenever you are going to form gametes, okay, Alia already gave me the answer, but still others who are watching this video, you can also try. Whenever you're going to form gametes like sperm and egg, there is a division that happens which makes the number of chromosome half. Why do you think it happens? Because suppose the sperm is carrying 23 number of chromosome. The egg will also carry 23 number of chromosome, right? Both of them, when they come together, 23 plus 23, you get the normal number of chromosome, which is 46. Which is why there is a division that takes place, and that division is known as meiosis. That division is known as meiosis. Okay, and meiosis is going to happen in the reproductive structures because they are the ones that forms the gamete. So testis is a reproductive structure in the case of male, ovary is a reproductive structure in the case of female. Ovary and testis both will be the answer because in both the cases sperm and egg is being produced and meiosis has to happen. Okay, not all the cells of our body. All the cells of our body, why do you think half of the number of chromosome will be there? No, it's just in the case of gametes. So yes, Alia, you were correct when you said the answer is C. Ovary and testis both. Kudos. Now going ahead, I'll skip this question for some time now. I'll go ahead with the next question. Try this question. Come on, children. From this point onwards, it is going to be super interesting, with some pictures and animations as well. All of you who are watching this video, try this question. Assertion says animal will not get energy if they eat or consume coal as food. Okay, coal as food. Now, specific enzymes are needed for the breakdown of a particular food. That is also given. What is the answer for this question? Do you think we can have coal as food and this coal will give us energy? Do you think it can give us energy? Alia says the answer for this question is A. What about others who are watching this video? Is the answer for this question A? Is the answer for this question A? Try it out. Animals will not get energy if they eat coal as the food. Yes, they would not. Because do we have the enzymes to digest coal? No, we do not have. And that is the exact reason given over here. Specific enzymes are needed for breakdown of a particular food. And those enzymes are not found in us, which is why we cannot basically break down this particular food. So your answer would be A. Your answer would be A, as Alia said. Both assertion and reason are true, and the reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Awesome. Chalo. Then let's go with the next question. Over here, try to solve this. Match column 1 with column 2 and select the correct option from the choices given below. Can we try to solve this? Come on, children. Let's see who is able to solve this first. देखते हैं सबसे पहले कौन सॉल्व करता है, ठीक है? Site of fertilization of egg with sperm. Site of implantation of embryo. What do you mean by implantation of embryo? So whenever embryo is being formed, it goes and takes rest somewhere. And from that point onwards, it will be growing into a mature, what do you call, a fully grown fetus. So that process of getting implanted somewhere is known as implantation. So where do you think is the site of implantation? Now, site of entry of sperm into the female reproductive tract. Okay, site through which waste material generated by developing embryo are removed. What do you think is the answer for this question? So, Alia says the answer is D or what? Let's check. Chalo. Site of fertilization of egg with the sperm. Do you know? So, I am going to show you the answer, but you have to be with me over here. Okay, so answer is D, but listen to me carefully. So, this is what you call as oviduct. The egg is being released from here. The egg comes and stays over here and waits for the sperm to come. So here in the oviduct, fertilization is going to be happening. Okay, so site of fertilization of egg with the sperm is what? It is oviduct. A goes with 3. I just have 2 options like that, so I'll cut off these 2 options. Now, I'll go with a D first. I will go with this one first. So, site through which the waste materials generated by the developing embryo are removed. Waste is exchanged and oxygen is received through one very important tissue which you call as placenta. So, D goes with 4. Both of them has D goes with 4. So, I have to go for the other option. Now, B, site of implantation of embryo. Now, over here, fertilization took place, zygote is being formed. This zygote is single-celled. The zygote keeps on dividing to form embryo. Now the embryo, when it is being formed, it has multiple cells. It will roll down and come over here. In the uterus, it is going to get implanted. So site of implantation of embryo is going to be what? Uterus. B is equals to 2. Now, site of entry of sperm into the female reproductive tract, where do you think the sperm enters? It enters through the vagina, which is why for this your answer would be D. Okay, so Alia, you are absolutely correct with answering that. Now going ahead with the next question, question number 14. And my dear children who are watching this video, Make sure you're trying to answer the questions. Okay? Otherwise, this session is going to be super boring. 14th question. The part of the brain which maintains the posture and balance of the bodies. By this time, I'm pretty sure all of you guys might be knowing the answer for this question. The part of the brain which basically maintains the posture and the balance. And you know what? The people who drink, okay, alcohol, okay, when they drink alcohol, this is the part that basically loses its sense, which is why they are not able to maintain the posture and the balance. So Alia says the answer is C. Anyone to tell that no, Alia, there is some other answer? Well, the one that maintains posture and balance is actually cerebellum, and I always tell you can remember it like this. 2L is there. L basically looks like straight. It is for posture. So you can remember it like that. Okay, in the case of people who drink alcohol, the cerebellum gets affected, which is why they walk like this. Cool? So your answer for this question is C. Now question number 15, try to solve this. Select a pair of bisexual flowers from the following. Now those of you who have read the NCERT properly would be able to answer this, otherwise you might not. Aditi Supriya, a very good evening dear. Very good evening. Let's try to solve this question. Select a pair of bisexual flowers from the following. Bisexual means what? Basically this flower which is there, it will be having both the female as well as the male part. That is what you mean by bisexual flowers. So Aditi says the answer for this question is A. Okay. Alia says the answer for this question is B. Kate Singh Lodhi is also there who says the answer for this question is C. Okay, so I've got A, B, C. Someone come and tell me the answer is D, and D will also be done. What is the answer for this question? I'll give you a simple way to remember it. Have you purchased anything from H&M? H&M is a brand. Have you purchased anything from it? Okay, have you purchased anything from H&M? Basically, H&M is the answer. H for hibiscus and M for mustard. H for hibiscus and M for mustard. Oh, we don't read NCERT in West Bengal, okay? I hope there is some other nice book. So answer for this question is B, my dear children. Now if at all you are asked about the plants which has Aditi, I'm sorry I didn't get your question. Can you repeat once more, dear? So over here, always remember, if at all you're talking about unisexual flowers. Unisexual means this flower will be having only one sex, either the female or basically it can be a male. This is what you see in PW. So P for papaya, and W for watermelon. Always remember. So unisexual is what? Papaya and watermelon. And over here you have bisexual flowers which you can see in hibiscus and mustard. Cool? Okay, Alia. No, ma'am, C is the answer of the last question. Okay, C is the answer of the last question. I'm so sorry, dear Kate. Okay. So over here, my dear children, if at all you want to see, look, this is a hibiscus flower, and in the hibiscus flower you have both the male and the female part. The stigma, style and the ovary will be down. Anther and filament is there, which is a part of the male part. So you have both of them. Yes, PW physics wala. So I'm not cross promoting, but I just give you an example. Okay, so always remember PW is found for PW means papaya and watermelon. They have unisexual flowers. H&M, which is a brand, it basically means hibiscus and mustard. They have bisexual flowers. Okay, chalo. Let's go ahead with the next question. Question number 16. Try to solve this. Now I see good morning, ma'am. Okay, so this is good morning for some of us. So Manish Bana, since it is good morning for you, it will be good morning for me also. Okay, so Jevin is also here. Now everyone is active. I think you had a break. Guys, are you going to school now, or is it a break for you for your pre-board examination? What is happening in the school? मैम हिबिस्कस में फर्टिलाइजेशन होने के बाद क्या होता है? So after fertilization is happening, my dear children, fertilization means what? The egg and the male gamete are going to fuse. Basically, after the egg and male gamete are going to fuse, what will happen? The ovule which is there, it will turn into a seed. It will turn into a seed, and that is what exactly happens over there. And the ovary which is there, it should actually turn into a fruit. But over here, in the case of hibiscus, you do not have an actual fruit, right? Fine. नो ब्रेक. अरे ओनली 20 क्वेश्चन and ब्रेक चाहिए, कैसा कैसा होगा? 20 क्वेश्चन है, जल्दी जल्दी कर लो अच्छे से. चलो 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 चलो. So answer for this question, the gastric glands present in the wall of the stomach release what? So C is what some people say. Alia says C, Khet also says C, Jevin also says C. Mucus and pepsin. So the gastric glands which are present in the walls of the stomach, my dear children, they release mucus, they release pepsin, they also release HCl. So your answer for this question is actually C. It is actually C. It is not mucus and trypsin because trypsin is produced by pancreas. It is not pepsin and trypsin because again trypsin is produced by pancreas. It is not pepsin and salivary amylase. Salivary amylase saliva में होता है भाई, तो पेट में क्या करेगा? Gastric glands will not produce it. Okay? Break नहीं चाहिए. Awesome. Aditi, Supriya, समझ में नहीं आया. So I'll tell you. So children, I'm just going back to the previous question. I hope you got the answer for this question. Listen, in this particular case, यूजुअली क्या होता है ना, ये होता है ओवरी, ये होता है स्टिग्मा, ओके, एंड ओवर हियर द पोलन ग्रेन्स कम्स एंड लैंड. द पोलन ग्रेन्स हैज द मेल गैमीट, इट विल मूव towards the ovule which is inside the ovary. So this is the ovary, this is the ovule, and over here the pollen tube is coming along with the male gamete, and inside the ovule you have the female gamete. Inside the ovule, you have the female gamete. Now, suppose the female gamete and the male gamete fuses. The male gamete and the female gamete fuses. Matlab, what is going to form over here? A zygote is going to form over here. Now, you will not call this structure as an ovule anymore. Rather, you will be calling this as a seed. What do you will call it? You will call this as a seed. And what happens to the ovary? Ovary will be now known as a fruit. But over here, in this particular case, in hibiscus, the fruit is not very much developed. The fruit is not very much developed. Okay, so it looks very like it does not have a different shape and structure like that. So you just have the seed. When the seed falls off, my dear children, you will have a new plant coming off from there. Okay? Okay. Now, my dear children, try to solve this question. So I put so many animations, so many pictures out there so that you guys can easily feel little more energetic. Okay, so how many of you have watched this movie, Finding Nemo? So other than abiotic components, which of the given biotic components are not required to make an aquarium with small herbivorous fishes, a self-sustaining system? Hi Surya Mishra. Okay, tell me, other than the abiotic components, matlab abiotic components means non-living components, other than the non-living components, which of the given biotic components or the living components are not required to make an aquarium of the small herbivorous fishes, that means fishes that feeds on plants, a self-sustaining system? Okay, so I watched, ma'am. Okay, that's great. So over here, I think Alia, you are saying the answer for this question is B. Is it B? B says 2 and 3. Let's see. So aquatic plants and aquatic animals you need in aquarium, so that is true. What about terrestrial plants and terrestrial animals? Do you need terrestrial plants in aquarium, my dear children? No, you do not need that. So this is not needed. So this would be an option because you are asked what is not needed, right? Decomposers such as bacteria and fungi. Now suppose a fish died in the aquarium. There should be someone to decompose it, right? So obviously you need decomposers. Without decomposers, things are not happening. So this is needed. Consumers such as clownfish and sea urchin. This is clownfish, my dear children, and this is sea urchin. This is clownfish and this is sea urchin. Okay, do you need them inside an aquarium? Do you need them inside the aquarium? What do you think? You will not need them. Why do you need consumers? They will eat the small fishes and then our aquarium will not even be an aquarium. You get it? So over here, this also is not needed. 2 and 4. So your answer would be D. Yes, board class and also Alia. Aditi, which question are you saying, dear? If at all you specified the question, I will repeat it to you once more. Okay, so the answer for this question is D. Cool? Chalo. Try this question. Assertion. In our action of writing and talking, our nervous system communicates with the muscles. So when I talk to you or when you are typing right now, do you think our nervous system is coordinating or communicating with the muscles? Obviously yes, then only we can write, right? Now over here, reason is saying cranial nerves and spinal nerves form the peripheral nervous system. Cranial nerves and the spinal nerves, my dear, spinal nerves form the peripheral nervous system. Do you think that is true? Listen, एक बात सुन लो. एक होता है अपना brain. Okay, we have our brain. The brain is there. Apart from the brain, we have something which is known as the spinal cord. Whatever nerves comes around from the brain, you call them as the cranial nerve. Okay, and over here, whatever thing arises from the spinal cord is going to be known as the spinal nerves. So the nerves that comes around, cranial and the spinal, they actually becomes what? Together they become what? The peripheral nervous system, PNS, peripheral nervous system. The brain and the spinal cord alone, my dear children, they come under central nervous system. So this statement is also correct. Cranial nerves and spinal nerves form the peripheral nervous system. This is correct. But do you think it is explaining the assertion? Do you think it is explaining the assertion? Answer is B. Both assertion and reason are true, but the reason is not the correct explanation of assertion. Sorry, I have marked it wrong. The answer is correct only. It will be B. Both assertion and reason are true, but the reason is not the correct explanation of assertion. This is correct. Both of them would be correct options. Okay? Now, going ahead with the 19th question. So, Aditi, my dear, if at all, because यही वाला बोलोगे तो शायद समझ में नहीं आएगा, because I do not know in which timeline are you following the video. If at all you can give me the question number, by the end of the video, I can repeat it to you again. Okay? I'll repeat it to you again. Fine? Rian. Hi, Rian. Okay, chalo. Question number 19th. Let's do it. Question number 19th. Let's do it once more. So not once more, let's do it. Assertion says use of jute bags for shopping reduces pollution. Do you think if we use jute bag, it will stop or reduce pollution? This is the jute bag. And the second thing, reason they are saying is jute is biodegradable and its bag may be reused when needed. So jute does not have, jute is basically biodegradable, which is why it does not cause pollution, because it can degrade by itself. Apart from that, I can reuse it as well. So do you think this and this statements are correct? Alia says the answer for this question is A. Yes, Aditi also says yes. Okay, my dear children. So over here, since both the things are correct and the reason is the correct explanation of assertion, can I say both assertion and reason are true and the reason is the correct explanation of assertion? Yes. So your answer is going to be A. Okay? Fine. Going ahead, question number 20. Question number 20. Select true statements about lymph from the following. अब ये जो करके दिखाया ना, ये अलग बात होगा इनका. Try to solve this question. Select true statement about the lymph from the following. Lymph vessels carry lymph through the body and finally open into large arteries. Lymph contains some amount of plasma proteins and blood cells. Lymph contains some amount of plasma protein and red blood cells. Lymph vessels carry lymph through the body and finally open into larger veins. What is your answer for this question? Alia is saying the answer for this question is B. B is what? B means B and D are correct. Lymph contains some amount of plasma proteins and blood cells, and D is what? Lymph vessels carry lymph through the body and finally open to the large veins. Anyone to tell that no, this is not the correct answer, there is some other answer for this particular question? No? Surya Mishra is also there. Hi Surya. Okay, Rian, everyone is saying the answer for this question is B. Yes, it is B. Tanya Chauhan is also there. Yes, the answer for this question is B. And for those of you who do not know the working of lymph, I am going to explain you right over here and then we can come back to it later on. Okay, so listen to me carefully. You have your arteries, right? You have the arteries which comes up. Now suppose this is a big organ and now you have so many cells to supply. You have so many cells to supply. The artery basically cannot go in between the cell. So what it does, arteries breaks into arterioles, and the arterioles which are there, they are again going to break down to even more smaller things, which is known as what? Capillaries. Which is known as capillaries. Now if at all you take a look at capillaries, my dear children, they are just made up of one cell. They are only one cell thick. They are only one cell thick. And in between that, through them, what is going? Blood is being traveling. And the blood, my dear children, it has so many components. Blood which is there, it has so many components. What are the components? Let's see that. So blood में क्या क्या होगा बच्चा लोग बताओ. Blood जो है वो blood में होता है plasma. First thing, blood has what? Plasma. Okay, so I'm writing plasma. अब plasma में float करता है बहुत सारा cells. There are so many cells which floats in the plasma. One of them is your RBC, red blood cells. Okay, one of them is RBC. Second is white blood cells. They are not white in color. I'm just making white blood cell. तीसरा नंबर पे कौन होगा? There are some other cells which are known as platelets. Platelets. उसके अलावा कौन होगा? Dracula होगा inside. That means there are some pathogens also. Something that gets into our body and wants to cause infection. You call them pathogen. So they are also there. So pathogens are also there in this. Now when all of this is traveling, my dear children, what will happen? And that too under too much pressure in the small capillaries, my dear children, what will happen is that there are small pores over here in the capillaries. Some amount of certain things move out. While traveling, some amount of certain things move out. What are the things that move out? Plasma moves out because it is watery. Some plasma, okay, not all of the plasma. Some plasma will be moving out. Some WBC will move out. Why WBC? WBCs are larger in size actually, but they still can move out because they can change their shape. So वो भी निकल जाते. Now what can move out apart from this? The Draculas, the pathogens were there, they can also move out. Now they are also out. So here three things, they are out. What about the platelets? Can they move out? They cannot move out. What about the RBC? Can they move out? They cannot move out. So only three things move out, and that is plasma, pathogen and WBC. Yes, dear Jayavin, tell me. Yes, dear Jayavin, you can tell me. Before I go ahead, if at all you have any doubt until here, children, you can ask me. Ma'am, you are cute. Thank you so much, Alia. You guys are also so cute. Chalo. तो अपन कहते हैं, we are here. All these guys have come out, right? Now listen to me carefully. Where are they now? All of these things, plasma, WBC and the pathogen, they are in between the cells. They are in between the cells. Now suppose they live in between the cells. What will happen? If they live in between the cells, भाई swelling होगा वहाँ पे, पानी collect हो रहा है, all the things are coming, there will be swelling. So there should be someone to collect all this extra fluid which is there. There should be some blood vessels which can collect all the fluids and give it back to our body. What is that blood vessel? Or basically, what is that vessel? Basically, it will be known as lymphatic vessel. It is known as lymphatic vessel, and this fluid which is being collected is known as lymph. So arteries, capillaries and veins, that is ongoing. But here you have next set of things which is what? Lymphatic vessel. So wait, what is happening over here? Ma'am, I love you. Arre, I love you too. Now listen to me, okay? Here, come back. If at all you guys really love me, or not even love me, if at all you love biology, then listen to me. You will get full and full. Okay, then your parents will also love you super duper. Chalo. Hardeep, dear, stop, otherwise I would have to do something. Okay. Come on. Guys, let's be serious, okay? So now lymphatic vessels have come into the picture. What does this lymphatic vessel do? You forget about those comments, listen over here, okay? So lymphatic vessels will come into the picture and take this fluid within them. And you know what? Lymphatic vessels, they have some structures like this. What do you call them? You call them lymph nodes. You call them lymph nodes. और इधर क्या होता है? There are so many police inspectors standing over here. Police inspectors of our body are what? WBCs. So here also we have WBCs in the leaked fluid. Here also within the lymph nodes you have WBCs. Why are they over here? Because this fluid which is being collected, my dear children, it will have the pathogen also. You need to kill those pathogen, which is why you have lymph nodes in between. Now where is this fluid going to go? That is another question. So always remember, you have two things. Arteries, which takes the blood away from the heart. Who brings back the blood towards the heart? It is the veins. Towards its veins. So basically, if you have to give back the blood, you have to make sure that lymph basically goes to a vein, and the vein will now supply it back to the heart. Okay, so always remember, lymphatic fluid will contain plasma, WBC and pathogen. It does not contain platelets and red blood cells for sure. And also lymphatic vessels will be opening into a vein, not an artery, because artery takes away the blood away from the heart. If at all you want to bring it back, you need a vein. ठीक है? चलेगा? Okay. Function of arteries. What is the function of arteries? What is the function of arteries? I will always say arteries, my dear children, A for arteries and A for away. So to take the blood away from the heart to what? The rest of the body. Arteries are the ones that is going to give the blood to the rest of the body. In our blood, we will be having so many things such as oxygen, so many good things. That oxygen will be taken up by body. Rest of the deoxygenated blood will be returned back through our vein. Clear? Yes, Ali is saying clear, crystal clear. Thank you so much. Okay, so basically if at all you want to take a snap of this, you can take the because it might go if I move ahead. Okay? And if at all there is someone who has not subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe to it right now, abhi ke abhi. Okay, so over here the questions was like this: lymph vessel carry lymph from the body and finally open to larger arteries. Wrong. It is veins, right? Now lymph contains same amount of plasma, proteins and blood cells. Yes, here blood cells is mentioned, it is not mentioned what cells, so it is okay. But over here lymph contains some amount of plasma, proteins and red blood cells. Red blood cells hoga hi nahi. So this is wrong. Lymph vessels carry lymph through the body and finally open to larger veins. This is also correct. So B and D are the options which are correct. Hello ma'am. Yeah, hello Javin. Tell me. Ma'am, go to question please. This is the question. This is the question, dear. Riyan, can you tell me which question number are you talking about? Alia, ma'am, I know a secret of yours. What is that secret? Okay. Riyan, if you can tell me the number of the question, I can go back to it, or basically 20 questions are done, we will end up the live. So today's live was not as energetic as yesterday's live, which is why I want you guys to participate. So whenever you first of all subscribe to the channel, you will be able to see thumbnail ki kaun live aa raha hai, and then you will be coming in, right? So 20 questions are over from my end for today. So my dear children, I request you, the next time you see a thumbnail coming up like that, come for the live. Okay? So shall we end the live? My dear children, do you have any doubts related to biology that you want me to solve? You can tell me. Otherwise, we will end the live. Ma'am, doubt. Arey, doubt. Pucho, baba. Pucho. Javin, tell me the doubt. Yellow. Secret reveal चल रहा है यहाँ पे. Doubt नहीं पूछ रहे बच्चे. Good morning बोल के चले जा रहे हैं. Come on, children. Okay. Surya Mishra. Okay. So what I feel is you guys are just asking doubts, and doubt is not coming, which is why I think I'll end the session. I don't see any genuine doubts coming up. Okay, so who all got 20 on 20? Ma'am, what is double fertilization? Yes, I can answer that. And Surya is saying 6th question. Okay. So first of all, okay, you Surya initially asked me the 6th question, so I have to come back to the 6th question once more. Wait. 6th. This one. Observe the given figures A and B. When Chui Mui plant is touched, it leaves fold. This is due to. So plant of Chui Mui, my dear children, over here, if at all you see, Tani, I am coming to your doubt, okay? I'm coming to your doubt. So over here, the leaf, my dear children, would be like this. Even though you cannot see the small structure, it is there. It is known as pulvinus. Okay, and pulvinus is made up of so many cells. Now suppose, usually the cells over here would be having loss of water in them. It will be having water in it. But because when we touch, there are some receptors that get active over here in the plant's body, and these receptors make some ion channels active. So suppose this is cell, there will be some ion channels that get active, which is why there will be loss of ions. Basically ions get inside and the water is basically lost. The water will be lost. When the water over here is now lost, what will happen? The cells, all of them, they are going to shrink. And when the cells over here, they will shrink, what will happen? The leaf will be drooping down. So over here, your answer would be change in the amount of water. Okay? Change in the amount of water in the cells would be your answer for this question. Fine. Now, Tanya, I hope, Surya, you are able to understand it now. It all depends on the theory of this, which is pulvinus. So in the pulvinus, the cells are there which has lots of water. I'll tell you one more thing. Suppose this is a cell and you have vacuole. Inside the vacuole you have water. The amount of pressure that it exerts on the cell to help it maintain its shape, it is known as turgor pressure. It is known as turgor pressure. So now when the water is gone, the turgor pressure goes down, which is why the cell would not be of the same size. Okay. Now, going ahead with Tanya's doubt, what is double fertilization? So, listen to me carefully, okay? So, what exactly happens in double fertilization is that this is the plant. This is the female reproductive system of the plant. Here you have what? The stigma on which the pollen is going to land. This is the style and this is the ovary. Inside the ovary, you have the ovule. Inside the ovary, you have the ovule. Inside the ovule, you have one more structure which is not given in the NCERT, but just remember there is one more structure. And within this, you have multiple cells. One group of cells at the top. Okay, these are known as antipodal cells. Again, not given in NCERT. Over here, you have two cells which are known as synergids. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ho gaya. Now one more cell is there, the most important cell, which is known as the female gamete. This is the female gamete. Okay, and now this empty portion that you see over here, that is also a cell, and this cell, my dear children, has two nuclei. It has two nuclei. So this big cell, which you actually call as central cell, has two nuclei. Now listen to the story. Okay, now listen to the story. So over here, when the pollen grains comes and land, you know what? Pollen grain contains two male gametes. How many? Two male gametes. The pollen grain are going to form the pollen tube. Pollen tube comes. Okay. And the pollen tube is containing the gametes. One gamete which is there, comes and fuses with the female gamete. So female gamete plus one male gamete gives rise to what? Zygote. Again, the sperm came together to form the zygote. So one fertilization has taken place. But I told you there are two male gametes, so one more male gamete is there. What happens to that? That one male gamete will be coming and fusing with this cell, central cell's nuclei. Central cell will also undergo this. So second fertilization is happening over here. And now listen to me. Male gamete has a nucleus. These two, there are two nucleuses out there. This cell has two nucleuses out there. Together, how many nucleus? 1, 2, 3. Which is why this is known as triple fusion. Triple fusion. Since fertilization is happening twice, the male gametes are fusing twice, this is known as double fertilization. This will be known as double fertilization and it has two names. First fertilization is known as syngamy. Second fertilization is known as triple fusion. Okay. Ma'am, why is it what? So Tanya has another question. What is the function of sphincter muscle? So sphincter muscle usually are found in different places of our body. They control the opening and closing. Suppose there is a sphincter muscle between our alimentary canal and our stomach. So the food that we have taken in, it should not come back, right? It should not come back. There should be someone to stop it. So we have a sphincter muscle over here. We have a sphincter muscle over here also when the stomach opens into what? The intestine. We have a sphincter muscle in our anus such that the poop does not go out. So all of it is regulated by our nervous system, the opening and closing of it. Okay, I hope that is understood. Now, Tanya is having another question. What is phagocytosis? So phagocytosis means basically, over here, suppose there is a WBC. Okay, and here I have a pathogen. something that causes a disease, okay, something that causes a problem within my body. So what will happen? The WBCs, not all the types of WBCs, there are certain types of WBCs, for example, macrophages and things like that. What they do is that they basically try to engulf this, they try to take it up. So it will be somewhat like this. It will be somewhat like this. I have the pathogen inside the cell. Now this process is known as phagocytosis. I'm taking it inside and breaking it down. Okay, now Tanya, I gave the answer for that question. Why do we have sphincter muscles? Now next, Surya Mishra is asking, why is it necessary to have 4 chambers in the heart of the human, such that, first of all, such that easily the pressure can be maintained. So first of all, atrium comes, atrium collects the blood. Now if at all the blood is not collected in high amount, there will be less amount of pressure out there. So now the blood is collected in the atrium. This creates a pressure. Okay, what exactly happens is that this atrium which is there, it has an opening over here, and this is closed. Now if I do not put much pressure, what will happen? It won't open. When I put much pressure, it will open and the blood goes to the ventricle. Blood will goes to the ventricle. Now ventricle again will contract and it will send it to the whole entire body. So that is why we have 4 chambers, so that the pressure can be maintained and the segregation of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood can also happen smoothly. Cool? And someone was asking, Rian was asking me the 19th question. So 19th question was what? Just a second, okay? Just give me a second. 19th. Okay. Use of jute bags for shopping reduces pollution. Does it reduce pollution? Yes, it does. Why? Because jute bag is biodegradable. So it does not accumulate and does not cause pollution. And also bag can be reused. Fine. Double fertilization came in my pre-board. Oh, Tanya, I hope now you have understood it. Have you? So, my dear children, I think I have solved all your doubts question. Is there anything else that is popping up in your head? I can help you solve that. Valves have sphincter muscles. No. So, basically, sphincter muscles act like valves at some places. So as I said, in between the alimentary canal as well as the stomach, you have sphincter muscles which basically controls the opening. Okay, sorry. So yes, valves definitely, they have the sphincter muscles which helps in the closing and the opening of it. Okay? Dear, I just explained what's double fertilization right now. If you rewind a bit back, you would be able to see that. If it's okay, tech boy, can you please see it? Okay, just rewind a bit back and you will be able to see it. Anything else, my dear children? So Tanya, sphincter, listen, so since that question came, valves and sphincters are actually different. Valve is like this structure which opens and closes. It is flap-like structure. Whereas when you talk about sphincters, it is like muscles. So these muscles which are there, they contract and they relax. They contract and they relax. Now when they relax, there will be an opening that is being formed, which is why there is like a smooth going of things. Okay? Abhiraj is there. Okay, coming to that. Abhiraj is there who says, explain the reflex arc. Okay, first I'll take that. Reflex arc, how is it being done? So, okay. Suppose I touch a hot pan. There are some receptors on my skin, which you call as mechanoreceptors. Okay, these receptors are going to sense it. Now these receptors, since they are sensing, they will be sending the signal to our spinal cord that okay, I have touched something hot, and this signal is sent through with the help of a neuron which is known as sensory neuron. Now where does it go? It goes to the spinal cord. It goes to the spinal cord. Now in the spinal cord there should be someone to process it. Yes, and that someone is known as a relay neuron. a relay neuron is going to process the signal that has just come from the sensory neuron. And the relay neuron says, oh my God, the person has touched a hot object, that person should take away the hand. For that, you have to give the signal to the muscles, because the muscles are the one that will contract, and that's how we will move our hand. So basically, there should be someone to send the signal from the relay neuron to the effector organ, but the effect is going to be shown. So over here, you have the effector organ, which is actually muscle over here. And who is the one that will carry this information? It will be a motor neuron. So a motor neuron carries this information. So receptor, then sensory neuron, then relay neuron, then motor neuron, and the effector organ. Always remember, sensory neuron has another name. It is also known as efferent neuron. A say A. A say A. So it is bringing in things. Motor neuron has another name which is known as efferent. E for exit. Okay. Relay neuron also has another name since it is coming in between, so it is known as interneuron. This is what you call as a reflex arc. Done? Fine. Now Ashish is saying, what is the function of bulbourethral gland? Bulbourethral gland, which is also known as Cowper's gland, it is found in the male reproductive system, and the gland's function is for the lubrication of the penis, such that the sperm can easily move around. Okay, so it is for the lubrication of the penis. I hope that is done. Okay. And over here, just a second. Bile juice. What is bile juice is your question? Just a second, dear children. I am facing a trouble over here. Just a second. Okay, give me a second. Okay, now I think it's fine. Okay. Okay, now I'll take your question. First question is, Tanya, which hormone, plant hormone, is responsible for bolting? So bolting basically means prematurely you're growing, that is bolting, and it is done by gibberellin. Okay, it is done by gibberellin. Now bile juice. So over here, in the case of the liver which is there, it produces something which is known as bile juice, and this bile juice is stored in another structure which is known as the gallbladder. What is the use of bile juice? So bile juice is responsible for something which is known as emulsification. What do you mean by emulsification? एक बड़ा सा fat globule ले लो, okay? Take a very big fat globule, and basically, if at all we want them to break down into smaller fat globules, what do? You take the help of bile juice, because they are responsible for this process, and this process is actually known as emulsification. Now, ma'am, why do we need to break them down? Because the enzymes which are going to break the fats down, they will get more surface area. If they try to act on this, there is lesser surface area. But now if they're small, the enzymes can easily act on fats and can break them down even more. And what is that enzyme that breaks the fat down? It is pancreatic lipase. From our pancreas, a secretion is produced, that is pancreatic lipase. So for pancreatic lipase to pancreatic lipase to act effectively, you would need this process to happen. And also one more thing, the food that comes from our stomach, it is highly acidic in nature because HCl is being produced. Now the pancreas which are going to be there, so suppose this is the stomach. Suppose this is the stomach. Now the next thing is intestine, and here you have the pancreas. So if at all you want the pancreatic secretion to act on this food, the pancreatic secretion cannot act on acidic food. You have to make it alkaline first. So bile juice also makes the food alkaline. So it has two functions. One is to make the food alkaline, and also to break down all the fat globules into smaller fat globules such that the pancreatic enzymes can easily act on it. Okay? Now, ma'am, you are not explaining what? Tell me. Tanya, you're most welcome, dear. Explain implantation. Ashish is saying explain implantation. Tech boy, I'll come to your question again. So I had explained it earlier, which is why I didn't. Okay, fine, I'll explain it to you, okay, very, very soon. Now listen, what is implantation? Now implantation basically means this is the uterus. Suppose this is the uterus, right? Now the uterus will have different layers, perimetrium, endometrium. So outermost layer which is there, it is endometrium. Okay, it is endometrium. It is made up of so many blood vessels, glands and things like that. Now, when the embryo is forming, it basically starts forming in the oviduct itself. In the oviduct itself, there will be certain cells which is, you call this as an embryo even if it is 8 cell stage, you call this as an embryo even if it is 16 cell stage. Now later what is happening is that the cells divide and slowly it rolls down towards the uterus. Why? Because there should be someone to provide nourishment to these growing cells. That is why it will be coming down to the uterus, and basically they will slowly get embedded into this wall of the uterus, which is known as endometrium. Why do they get embedded over here? Because the endometrium is richly supplied with blood vessels and the glands that can provide nourishment to the growing embryo. And also this endometrium plus the embryo together is going to make a new tissue right over here. Going to make a new tissue which is known as placenta. That is known as implantation. So basically this process of the embryo rolling down and getting embedded into the endometrium is known as implantation. Once it is getting implanted, it is going to form another tissue which is known as placenta. Okay, I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. Now, Tech boy, I can come to your question again. Do you want me to explain, or Tech boy has gone? My dear children, if at all you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe to it right now. Tech boy, are you there? Do you need explanation? Okay, I think it's all cool then. Tech boy is not there. I'm so sorry to disappoint Tech boy. If Tech boy is there, I could have explained. Okay, anyways. So my dear children, I think that sums up all your doubts. Do you have any more doubts? Or shall we end up this live? Okay, I think it's good to go. We'll end up this live. Thank you so much for coming today. From next time onwards, come on time and let's be more energetic. Okay, let's be super energetic and let's give our best. Fine? ठीक है? मजा करेंगे next time. So wishing you all the best, my dear children. Prepare really well for your pre-board examination. You will absolutely rock it. You guys are rock stars. Don't forget that. And do not have the self-doubt. And if you have any doubts that is still persisting, put it down in the comment section. I will be solving it on priority. So don't worry about anything. Okay? Fine then. Agamjeet, my all doubts are clear. Ariva. Great. So children, bye-bye. Take care. Lots of love. And do not forget to hit this